What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa coming back at y'all with another banger, man. So look, I just want to say today, thank y'all so much to everybody who's coming through. I got a special video in store. Gonna be bringing y'all the top 3 best rare point guard builds coming at y'all on NBA 2K21 current gen. So before we get into the making, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and spammed up that like button. Go ahead and turn on post notices, and also go ahead and share this banger with your family and friends, y'all. Now, when it comes to this build, of course, you want to go ahead and put it under the point guard position. But when it comes to the pie chart, for this build that we are actually making, the 3-point playmaker, what you are going to want to go ahead and do is pick the pie chart that is split right down the middle with the shooting as well as the playmaking. Now, when it comes to the physical profile, y'all do not have to worry about this too much, but the one that I like is going to be the one with the 84 speed, 83 acceleration, and the 74 vertical, y'all. Now, you could go ahead and change it up if you want to, but I feel like this is honestly going to be the best, most balanced one in my opinion. Now, when it comes to that close shot, go ahead and put that to a 73. Driving layup's going to be an 80, and the driving dunk is going to be a 63. When it comes to the shooting side of things, go ahead and put the mid-range to a 77. We have to keep it at this, nothing above. Then when it comes to that 3-point shot, max it out. Free throw is going to be an 85 for 17 badges. Then on the playmaking side, max out your pass accuracy as well as the ball handle. That's going to give us 21 badges. And then when it comes to the defense, interior, going to go up to a 48. Maxed out perimeter defense, maxed out lateral quickness and steal. Same thing with your block, and then the rest of the way, we're going to go ahead and max out the defensive rebound and put the rest of the attributes onto the offensive. So, that's going to give us 10 badges right there, honestly, for this being a rare build. And you're going to be able to dribble and shoot threes at ease and play some pretty good defense. You are going to be super overpowered when it comes to other guard builds. Now, of course, if you want to, you can change up a couple different things, but the badge count for this rare build is exactly the best possible version that you can make. Now, when it comes to the height, weight, and wingspan, a couple of these are optional, so feel free to pick what you like. But for my liking, I'm going to go with 6'5". When it comes to the weight, you could go ahead and base it off of your preference, but be sure that you are paying attention to your physical stats when you go into doing this. That is going to make a huge difference on any build, but I'm going to go with 175. Then, when it comes to the wingspan, as you see, if you go with 77.0, we're going to be able to get that 99 3-pointer, but it really comes down to your preference and what you like. A really balanced version is going to be 86.0 in my opinion. As you can see, we get the playmaking, sharpshooting, slashing, and the shot creating takeover. All of these are really good, but if you want to go a little bit further to try to make a couple more of adjustments, feel free to do so. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all a couple different things about this build. So as you can see, I'm going back, putting on the very first physical profile, right? Now, when it comes to the stats, all of these essentially are pretty much going to be remaining the same. None of the badge counts are going to be too drastically different. And I'm telling you, this is just the second version of this build that I would consider making if I were y'all. I'm not going to go ahead and bring y'all one version of all of these builds. I like to tend to bring y'all at least one or two, just so you have a couple of options to pick from. So as you can see, when it comes to the height, the weight, and the wingspan, all of these are optional, but we get the lockdown takeover with this physical profile. So this is why I would call it a two-way 3-point playmaker. Really nice build. And as y'all can see, we got the actual 3-point playmaker name. Now, if y'all made it this far to the second build, I just want to say thank y'all. Y'all might as well as hit that sub button since you were already here and made it this far. But as you can see, we got the second build coming at y'all today, the mid-interior playmaker. Now, when I actually found this build originally, I had never seen this build in the game, never seen it on YouTube as well, and honestly, when I put it out, nobody had ever even heard about this build. So, this is easily probably the most rare build on the list of the 3 builds that I'm bringing at y'all today. But with that being said, you are not going to be lacking in any areas when it comes to these builds. Going to be really strong for being rare builds, and on top of all that, they are made with the best possible version that I'm bringing to y'all. So, before we get into the making, man, y'all definitely know what y'all need to do. be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To the Rich Gang family, as well as any new supporters, I'm telling you, I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and spam the like button, as well as turn on post notifications, so y'all do not miss an upload. Now, let's go ahead and get into the making of this build first. We're going to go ahead and put it under the point guard position. Now, when it comes to the pie chart, these builds are going to be very specific. So the one that I'm going to go ahead and pick is going to be split right down the middle with the defense as well as the playmaking. Now, when it comes to the physical profile, here is where things get interesting. Now, with my preference, I really like that fourth one. A lot of people like the first one because of the max speed, but I'm telling you, it's not necessary when you get a huge boost to their vertical, and it's going to help you out in the long run. So, go ahead and pick the one that I just showed y'all with the 91 speed, 90 acceleration, and 89 vertical. So now, from here, let's go ahead and get into the stats. As you can see, we're going to go ahead and max out the close shot, driving layup, driving dunk, and then go with the 41 standing dunk. From here, mid-range shot's going to be a 74, three-pointer is going to be a 66, free throw is going to be an 82, and the post fade is going to be a 59. So far, so good. 10 badges for the finishing and shooting. But then when it comes to the playmaking, we're going to go ahead and put the pass accuracy to an 81. Max out your ball handle, and we're going to get 18 badges right there. Now right here, for the perimeter defense, this is going to be an 83. Same thing with your lateral quickness. Steal is going to be an 87. And then defensive rebound is going to be maxed out to 70, y'all. Really nice badge setup, especially when you get those extra defensive badges. When it comes to the height on this build, now 6'6" and 6'7" both look really nice in my opinion. It really comes down to what you want to do. Then when it comes to the weight, go ahead and go all the way to the lowest, but then from there, go ahead and raise it up to where you are not being effective when it hits your speed. So I would highly consider the 191 route. If you want to, that is a really good weight to start off as. And then on top of all that, not to mention at 98 overall, you are going to be getting the pro dribble moves, y'all. And on top of all that, driving dunk and the driving layup are going to be in the 80s. So this build is definitely going to be maxed out to its full potential once you grind it out. So as you can see, we get the slashing takeover, also get the lockdown, playmaking, but last but not least, we definitely get the shot creating, y'all. So I'm telling you, the builds continue to get better, especially once you add lockdown takeover on top of all that. And that is why I love to bring them to y'all. So as you can see, this is pretty much a two-way mid-interior playmaker, especially with that lockdown takeover. We got one final build left over. So let's go ahead and check it out. The well-rounded point is what I'm going to be bringing at y'all. It does say the well-rounded wing, but do not worry about that. This is the well-rounded point. This build, I'm telling you, easily one of my favorite, if not my most favorite, point guard build in the game. When you see the stats as well as the badge count on this build, you are going to understand why you're going to make this build and why I put it last on this list. Now, since y'all made it this far, I just want y'all to know that I got another banger dropping for y'all tomorrow, so be sure to turn on post notice so y'all do not miss that. I know that y'all are in summer right now, so go ahead and comment down below if you are taking a summer class or if you are free for the rest of the summer. Now, let's go ahead and get into the making of this build first. You want to go ahead and put it under the point guard position. Then, when it comes to the pie chart, I am more than sure that we're going to be able to make this build out of a couple different pie charts. But as you can see, the one right here with a little bit more finishing than the shooting. Still going to be able to shoot, more so finish. But on top of all that, we are also going to be able to maintain some really nice dribble moves, y'all. So when it comes to the physical profile, by all means, if you want to, go ahead and pick the very first one if you like the max speed. But for my preference, I'm going with the fourth one, 82 speed, 82 acceleration, and the 84 vertical, y'all. Now, let's go ahead and get into the actual making on these stats. Close shot's going to be an 85. Driving layup, going to go up to a 91. And the driving dunk's going to be an 80. That's going to give us 16 badges right there. Now on the shooting, midi and the three-pointer are both going to be maxed out. That's going to give us 10 badges right there. If you go ahead and upgrade the free throw, maxing it out, you're going to get even more. Or you could even go with the post fade. It really comes down to what you want to do. I'm going to leave it to where I get 16 badges for both the finishing and the shooting. Then when it comes to the playmaking, go ahead and put that pass accuracy to a 77. Max out your ball handle for 13 badges. Now on the defensive side, max out your perimeter defense, lateral quickness, steal, block, defensive rebound, and put the rest towards your offensive, and you are all going to be set. Now, when it comes to the height on this build, you have to be very specific. If you want to, go ahead and experiment it with yourself, but I'm going to go with 6'7" for one height that I would highly consider. Now, when it comes to the weight, 201 or anywhere around the 200 range is going to be just fine. Wingspan, you can go with the lowest or 80.0. It really comes down to what you like, as long as you know what you are doing when it comes to making this build, especially when it takes into account that some of these stats are going to change. You have to be sure that you are going to like the build that you are actually making. With this one, I'm telling you, with the height that we are picking, going to be very overpowered. As you can see, we get the slashing, sharpshooting, shot creating. All of these takeovers are going to be very useful, but once you max out that wingspan, we actually unlock the lockdown takeover. So, however you want to go about it, feel free to experiment. Go ahead and make your own build to your liking. I'm going to go with the 80.0 wingspan, and any of these takeovers are going to be fine. As y'all can see, we have got the well-rounded point. Thank y'all so much for sticking through and watching the entire video. Just know that I truly appreciate y'all. I got another banger dropping for y'all tomorrow, and just know that I'm not going to give up, y'all. This is a forever thing. I'm going to continue to upload for y'all. So, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To the Rich Gang family, as well as any new supporters, I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and spam that like, and also turn on post notifications. Be sure to share this banger with your family and friends. Man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.